Today on Drawbli,
I am drawing a witch.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click the subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our brand new brush pack at the link below in the description.
Spell book. Yes, that is what I'm drawing with exclusively today. I am really trying it out whole hog, seeing how it goes to create an entire artwork just using these brushes. And I have to say, there is something there for everything that I need. I love these brushes for creating a unique and interesting background. Here, I've just gone in with a bunch of them and tried to emulate what I see in the colors of this reference image. I like this.
You mentioned in our last video, not to interrupt you, but you said how you've been struggling with backgrounds lately and how these brushes have actually helped you quite a bit with that.
Yeah, I feel like they've really opened up my ability to kind of put in a background that I feel like, hey, this conveys what I'm seeing and feeling in the reference. And it still has some interest, still has some texture to it. So I was really happy with that. Also, it's just nice to draw for a bit because I think, like we've talked about recently, I'm working a lot of extra hours because someday we're going to buy a house. And
someday soon.
Yeah. And I haven't had as much time to draw regularly, so it was great to get to sit down and work on this, which I worked on her sometimes during my lunch breaks at work. So there were a lot of interruptions, and maybe I ended my work on her before she was fully refined and finished.
That's okay.
But I was still very pleased with the aesthetic and mood and lighting of the image, and that's what I'm, feeling good about from having finished this one.
Very nice. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is really cool. A nice reference out in nature.
Yeah, a little bit in nature, yeah. I like all the different angles of the house behind her and the fence and the concrete. I thought that was pretty cool. And
it's a cool composition.
Yeah, and I like the push of lighting on the legs as opposed to the face, really, which I thought was interesting. So I actually probably spent more time drawing in her legs and shoes than I did on the rest of her body. But it was fun to do that.
I mentioned nature, Abby, because you said in our last video that you wanted to talk about a recent nature excursion.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So lately I've been into looking up different little nature preserves near our house because you can find a lot of them where we live in Kentucky. And they're tiny, some of them, but you can go and they have maybe the tiniest amount of parking and you just go check them out. And I found this one near me that was a little wetlands preserve. And I said, whoa, that is so cool. They're restoring these wetlands. Wetlands were widely almost eliminated in the United States during our developmental years. Before we knew what...
Except for Florida. Florida's all wetland.
Yeah, pretty hard to eliminate them from Florida. Before we knew how important they were for our ecosystems and water and everything in general. So there's an attempt down near where we live to restore one. This local university is doing research projects there. It's really cool. And they have a short 1 mile trail with lots of really cool signs that teach you how to identify different trees and plants. And I just love it. But I knew it was a wetlands and I'm like, oh, that sounds unpleasant. And I knew I kind of wanted to probably hike there with you, Ben. So about a week and a half ago, I went there on my own, and I was like, I'm gonna scope this out and make sure this isn't miserable, because wetlands, what does that sound like? It sounds wet and miserable. And I went on this brisk day. It was a little chilly, and I had a lovely time. The woods were just empty other than me. The wetlands looked cool. They were standing darkish water with big cottonwoods coming out of the water. It was really cool, and there were birds singing, and I had on a long jacket, and that's important. So fast forward to today. I said, Ben, I know you wanted to go walk at our park today, but what if I took you over to those wetlands? I scoped it out. It's all good. It's going to be a great time. And you said, okay, because you're nice and you wanted to make me happy, I guess. And and away we went. And we got in my car.
Away we went.
And we drove 11 minutes to this tiny parking lot. And into the little woods and on its little trail. And immediately I noticed something was very different about today. The trail was slightly more overgrown and I could feel it because I was no longer wearing a long jacket. It was a warm day, so I was wearing, like I think I'm wearing a shorter dress, so like I was
wearing
shorts. And all the plants and grasses kind of spilling into the trail a little bit are all kind of wet.
It's not a very walked trail, Not a ton of foot traffic.
Just
so it was overgrown.
A little overgrown. A little. So just like last time, there was nobody else there. And since it's a warmish day and a place with a lot of standing water, there were mosquitoes. So instead of a pleasant afternoon walk, poor Ben got a very wet and slimy walk through tall, wet grasses with lots of spider webs. He went in front, eventually with a stick because it was pretty bad. And the mosquitoes were crazy.
There were quite a few mosquitoes.
Mostly on you. I don't know what they don't see in me. Maybe because I moisturize with jojoba oil, and maybe they don't like that? I don't know. But
it's my Italian heritage. They like the spicy blood.
I could hear them like humming in my ear a couple times, but anyway, I felt bad because it's still one of my favorite little nature walks to date.
My skin is literally tingling from all the mosquito bites.
Yeah, you came home and took a shower, and hopefully you feel a little better now. I was gonna suggest we put some lidocaine gel all over you if you need it, but
no, I think I'll pass on putting gel all over me.
But it was sad because I really, really wanted it to be a good experience for you. Hence, doing how do you pronounce reconnaissance?
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
Thank you. I knew reconnaissance was not it, but I knew I was probably off by the way.
Yes, in the 1400s, the Great Reconnaissance,
I just
where
knew
art flourished.
I knew wetlands was probably the sort of thing that would appeal to me as a thing that, I don't know, that I might enjoy that other people might not, which is why I went and scoped it out first and thought it was, oh, this is fine. This is very like dry and approachable. And then we came and it was exactly what I would have said, oh, this probably isn't for you on. So
it could have been for me if I had been wearing pants and long sleeves and maybe something covering my neck.
Yes, if we had prepared for the elements.
Multiple times. When I slapped a mosquito off of my arm or leg, I was hitting 2 of them at once. There were tons of mosquitoes.
It was so bad. But you were a few feet in front of me, and the mosquitoes left me alone. And it was unfortunate because this meant we did not get to stop and read the very cool, informative signs posted throughout the walk about like what the kinds of trees were and how the ecosystem works and what kind of wildlife is there. Yeah. So they're really good signs, and I hope you get a chance to read them.
I'm sure they're great signs.
They're great signs.
No, I did not read the signs, but I can read them next time.
That's okay. I don't blame you. It was rough. But thanks for taking the mosquitoes on for me because they definitely left me alone.
Speaking of rough, this witch is not rough.
Oh, thank
you. She's very good. She's cool. You did a really good job on this. This is fun.
I had a fun time working on her.
I feel like you did an awesome job on the background. It's super cool. I love the texture that you got in there.
Well, that's all thanks to your spellbook brush set that you created. I love it. It really works for me. And it's not like a brush set where you download and it's got like 100 brushes in it and you're just overwhelmed with a number of choices. It is a choice, refined few brushes that do what you need them to do without being excessive in how many there are.
Yeah, that was actually very intentional because I personally dislike having 100 brushes to go through when I would much rather have, one brush instead of 10 that does the exact job very well.
Yeah, some tried and true brushes that somebody took the time to actually go through and say, these are good ones.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I worked on these for a long time because I wanted them to be really good.
Yeah, and they are. I
wanted to use them myself. Like I made them for us.
Well, this is a 100% spell book artwork, which is done with me kind of getting back into the swing of things as I've had to be off quite a bit with working extra. So, like I said, I didn't fully refine this image, but I love how it turned out.
Well, swing you did. And if you want to swing back into it, or just swing in general, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out the brand new Drawbli brush pack spell book at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say
goodbye.
Goomba.
I think you just told everybody at the end of our video to go ahead and swing.
Oh, yeah, did I?
You sure did. I don't know if you heard yourself or not.
Hey everybody, go be swingers.
Go be swingers.
That's the new cool thing apparently, according to me.
According to you.